On the African savanna, the lion is regarded as a formidable predator, yet not every hunt ends in victory. When facing large, strong prey capable of fighting back, a single misstep can turn the tables. When raw power clashes with endurance, horns, hooves, and coordinated defense, what happens when the lion is forced to retreat? From the savannas of East Africa to the scrublands and open woodlands of southern Africa, spotted hyenas are highly adaptable to diverse environments. They live in clans that can number dozens of members, yet they frequently split into smaller subgroups, regrouping based on food availability or the presence of rivals. This flexible organization allows them to react swiftly when a threat enters their territory. In this instance, the threat is a lion on the hunt. It pauses to survey the scene, deliberately chooses an approach path, and then suddenly accelerates toward the nearest hyena. That hyena instantly dodges aside, while the other clan members scatter, reposition, and rapidly close in on the lion from multiple directions. The lion wheels around to counterattack, lunging at the encroaching hyenas and forcing them to retreat. However, whenever it commits its strength in one direction, other hyenas immediately press in from the flanks and rear, compelling it to shift its focus. Besieged by pressure from all sides, the lion loses the initiative and is forced to withdraw. The hyena clan pursues it until it has left their territory. The outcome demonstrates that individual strength is not the sole factor determining the result of a confrontation. The ability to split up, regroup, and coordinate as a group allows hyenas to maintain an advantage over an opponent that would overpower them in a one-on-one fight. For the lion, retreating minimizes the risk of injury and brings an end to a situation that has turned disadvantageous. On the African savanna, wild dogs are distinguished by their pack-hunting instincts and their ability to maintain relentless pressure. During a chase, they coordinate seamlessly, forcing their prey to constantly change direction and accelerate, rapidly draining its stamina before closing in for the kill. Energetic, persistent, and highly social, they rely on numbers, spacing, and agile maneuvering to counter a lion. A lion spots a pack of wild dogs resting and silently stalks toward them. Pausing to observe, it singles out an individual standing apart from the group and suddenly charges. The target barely has time to turn before being pinned down. Danger strikes instantly, but instead of fleeing, the remaining wild dogs immediately fan out to the flanks before circling back, repeatedly closing in to force the lion to shift its attention away from its captive. It is this moment of distraction that turns the tide. The lion turns to counterattack in one direction, only to be approached from the opposite side. As it pivots, the pack presses in close before darting just out of striking range. Amidst the maneuvering, the pinned dog breaks free and races toward its packmates, while the group's pressure compels the lion to retreat. As the lion begins to withdraw, the advantage shifts to the wild dogs. They protect their member through rapid reactions, maintaining safe distances and coordinating multi-directional pressure. The lion is forced to leave as the risk of injury rises. Faced with a more powerful adversary, well-timed coordination allows the entire pack to escape danger. Across the vast African grasslands, buffalo live in herds, constantly monitoring their surroundings for any unusual movement. Upon spotting a predator, they may flee if a safe escape route exists, but they will turn to confront the threat if a member of the herd is cornered. With their massive bodies, powerful shoulders and necks, sturdy legs, and formidable horns, an adult buffalo represents both a prized meal and a target that is incredibly difficult to bring down. The nutritional value of an adult buffalo is significant enough to tempt a pride of lions into pursuing such a risky target. They stalk silently, patiently waiting for a buffalo to stray from the formation before suddenly accelerating to drive the target away from the herd. As soon as a gap opens, the nearest buffalo immediately wheel around, lower their horns, and charge, forcing the lions to scatter before they can complete their attack. Despite being repelled, the pride seeks another opportunity. They circle around to approach from a different angle, attempting to isolate a buffalo from the herd's protection. However, this time multiple buffalo advance together, repeatedly forcing the lions to change direction and retreat. As the opening closes and the risk of being gored rises, the lions lose the upper hand. Once the initiative is lost, the outcome becomes clear. The herd holds its formation, successfully protecting its members and forcing the lions to abandon the hunt after 2 failed attempts. The lions eventually leave the area empty-handed, while the buffalo move on together following the tense confrontation. The African rhinoceros is one of the largest animals on the savanna. Adults can weigh over 2 tons. They possess powerful necks, sturdy legs, heavy heads, and large horns used for defense when threatened. Rhinos do not hunt, but if danger draws too close, they can instantly turn and charge straight at their adversary to defend themselves. Facing a target weighing tons, a lion can only find an opportunity by keeping its distance and observing carefully. The lion stalks its prey, watching its movements before accelerating, attempting to close in from behind before the target can react. Just as the gap narrows, another rhino appears and charges, forcing the lion to halt its attack immediately. That moment leaves the lion facing a counterattack from the front. The targeted rhino immediately turns to face the predator, while the second rhino continues to advance at high speed, forcing the lion to dodge repeatedly to avoid a potentially devastating goring. With no opening left to close the distance, the lion slows down and retreats from the area. The lion continues to back away, abandoning any intention to resume the attack. The rhinos successfully repelled the threat through sheer physical power, rapid defensive reactions, and timely mutual support, forcing the lion to give up the hunt. Faced with the risk of serious injury, retreating was the safer choice. In the rivers, lakes, and wetlands of sub-Saharan Africa, the hippopotamus is a massive and incredibly powerful animal. Its heavy build, large head, wide jaws, and long tusks provide effective defense against close-range threats. Although primarily herbivores, adult hippos react with lightning speed when approached, making any attempt to close the distance fraught with danger. Despite the ever-present risk of injury, a massive target like a hippo is tempting enough for a lion to consider an approach. The lion silently circles to the rear, patiently watching every movement before suddenly accelerating while the hippo is resting. However, no sooner has the attack begun than the hippo springs up, pivots to face the lion, and charges, instantly turning the tables. The lion dodges to the side, but the hippo does not stop. It opens its jaws wide and continues to press the attack, forcing the lion to constantly change direction to avoid a close-range bite. The lion attempts one more approach, but the hippo keeps advancing. Left with no safe position to maintain the attack, the lion is forced to flee the area. The lion continues to widen the gap until it abandons any intention of returning to the fight. The hippo's massive size, powerful jaws, and fierce defensive response successfully drove the opponent away, while the lion wisely gave up the prey before the risk of injury escalated. For a predator, knowing when to stop is a crucial decision for survival and future hunting. The African elephant is the largest living land animal. Adults can weigh over 6 tons. Their massive bodies, powerful legs, large heads, flexible trunks, and tusks enable them to effectively defend themselves when threatened. Beyond sheer strength, elephants possess excellent memories, learning capabilities, and complex social communication skills, making adult elephants extremely difficult targets to approach. An elephant represents a massive food source, but accessing it requires the pride to take significant risks. They silently stalk an elephant that has strayed from the herd, closing the gap before accelerating to approach from the rear. The elephant immediately wheels around and charges, using its colossal bulk and heavy legs to halt the attack. This forces the lions to scatter to the sides, breaking up their approach. Although pushed back, the lions continue to pursue the elephant as it retreats into shallow water. In the water, whenever they try to close the distance, the elephant turns to face them. Some retreat while others advance, yet none can hold a position long enough to launch an attack. The elephant shifts direction, forcing each predator to back off and causing every attempt to close in to fail. Opportunities to approach dwindle, forcing the lions to keep their distance rather than continuing into the water. Whenever a lion draws near, the elephant immediately turns to face it, preventing any of them from maintaining a safe attacking position. As the risk of injury rises and the tactical advantage slips away, the pride retreats and abandons the hunt. In Africa, savannas, open woodlands, and scrublands are the natural habitats of the giraffe. Their towering stature allows them to reach high-up food sources, while their long, powerful legs serve as a vital defense mechanism against danger. It is rare for an adult giraffe to be brought down. Any predator that ventures too close risks serious injury from the animal's powerful kicks. Despite the risks posed by these dangerous kicks, the promise of protein-rich meat drives lions to hunt them. They observe silently and fan out before suddenly accelerating, forcing the giraffe to constantly change direction within the herd as the gap rapidly closes. When a lion lunges from behind, the giraffe immediately delivers a powerful kick, breaking the initial approach. Following that counterattack, the pride continues to shadow the giraffe from multiple angles, seeking an opening. Whenever the lions close in, the giraffe accelerates, changes course, and kicks backward, preventing the predators from maintaining an attack position for long. After several failed attempts, the lions gradually slow down, while the giraffe begins to pull away. The distance widens until the pride eventually abandons the chase. The giraffe escapes thanks to its massive size, speed, and defensive capabilities, while the risk of injury prevents the lions from sustaining their pursuit. Through timely resistance, the giraffe ultimately breaks free from the hunt. After every chase, what remains is not merely the outcome of victory or defeat. A lion may possess strength, speed, and experience, yet every hunt demands precise calculation. When opportunities dwindle and risks escalate, retreating becomes a necessary choice. On the savanna, a lion's survival depends not only on strength, but also on making the right decision at the right moment. Across the African grasslands, hyenas do not merely forage for food. They constantly contend with rivals that are stronger, faster, or more numerous. At times they hunt, at others they compete for resources, and sometimes they must fight back simply to survive. The tide of any encounter can turn in a matter of seconds. Yet, when a hyena decides to press the attack against the most dangerous of adversaries, what unfolds? Across the vast grasslands, open woodlands, and scrublands of East Africa, zebras often travel in herds in search of grazing and water. Adult plains zebras weigh between 385 and 850 pounds, boasting sturdy bodies and muscular legs built for endurance running. While herd life aids in early predator detection, a zebra that falls behind creates a dangerous gap between itself and the rest of the group. That gap instantly triggers a shift in the hyena pack, from observation to pursuit. Accelerating and closing in from behind, they force the zebra to constantly change direction, while the main herd flees in panic. The harder the zebra tries to rejoin its companions, the further it is driven off course, ultimately finding itself isolated amidst the intense chase. This isolation allows the hyena pack to rapidly close the distance. Taking turns flanking the zebra, they force it to twist and turn in defense while running, but its strength gradually wanes under the relentless pressure. Finally, the pack subdues its prey. The hunt concludes, providing a meal for the group and helping to maintain the natural ecological balance. Across the vast savanna, a rhinoceros moves slowly, constantly monitoring the sounds around it. These massive creatures can weigh over 5,000 pounds, possessing powerful shoulders, necks, and legs that provide stability and generate immense force during a charge. Since eyesight is not their strong suit, their keen sense of smell and acute hearing allow them to quickly detect unusual signals approaching from behind. Those signals soon become unmistakable as a pack of hyenas begins to fan out behind the rhino. Some suddenly dart in to nip at its tail before quickly retreating, while others constantly shift direction to maintain pressure from the flanks. The rhino wheels around and charges straight at the nearest attackers, forcing the pack to scatter. But within seconds, the hyenas close in again. The chase intensifies as the rhino accelerates toward others of its kind. It constantly changes direction and counterattacks whenever the hyenas get too close, eventually drawing support from other rhinos and forcing the pack to back off. Yet the hyenas remain in pursuit, waiting for a new opportunity. With neither side gaining the upper hand, the confrontation remains unresolved. Across the savannas, grasslands, open woodlands, and semi-arid scrublands of sub-Saharan Africa, African wild dogs live and hunt in packs. Their strength lies in their ability to coordinate, observe, and single out targets that have become separated from their group before giving chase. Near a small stream, the pack suddenly spotted a hyena lying in the water and began silently closing the distance. Once close enough, the pack broke formation to approach from multiple directions. The hyena burst from the water, spun rapidly, and lunged straight at the nearest dogs, forcing them to retreat to avoid its counterattack. The wild dogs circled back to press the attack, but whenever the net tightened, the hyena would roar loudly and lunge back, disrupting their offensive rhythm. Repeated counterattacks raised the stakes. Despite being alone, the hyena held its ground, constantly moving and retaliating whenever the wild dogs attempted to flank it. In the wild, predators always weigh the risk of injury against the potential reward. After several failed attempts to close in, the pack was forced to withdraw. Ultimately, the decision to retreat brought the tense standoff to an end. Although the wild dogs held the advantage in numbers and coordination, the hyena's superior strength, powerful jaws, and close-quarters defensive capabilities prevailed. Faced with the high risk of injury, the pack was compelled to abandon the attack. Across the vast grasslands of East and Southern Africa, wildebeests often travel great distances in search of fresh grass and water. When danger arises, a swift flight response allows them to widen the gap between themselves and predators, enabling them to regain the safety of the herd. However, a calf lagging behind creates just enough of a gap for a pack of hyenas to begin their pursuit. That gap immediately triggers the hyenas to accelerate and close in on the calf. They repeatedly force it to change direction before suddenly lunging into the midst of the fleeing herd, throwing the group into disarray and causing them to scatter. Amidst the frantic running, the calf becomes separated from its kin, and the hyenas quickly lock onto their isolated target. The isolated target immediately faces intensified pressure from the entire pack. Taking turns, the hyenas crowd the calf, forcing it to change course and constantly narrowing the distance whenever it attempts to rejoin the herd. Exhausted by the prolonged chase, the calf is ultimately unable to pull away and is subdued by the pack, bringing the hunt to a close. The successful hunt provides a vital food source for the hyena pack. The prey's meat supplies the protein and energy needed to sustain their activity, movement, and continued hunting across the savanna. This success highlights the crucial roles that stamina, coordination, and target isolation play in the hyena's hunting strategy. Across the open woodlands, grasslands, and savannas of Africa, the leopard adapts to a wide range of environments. Its muscular, agile body, featuring powerful shoulders, a strong neck, and robust forelimbs, allows it to secure prey, while its climbing ability offers a strategic advantage in avoiding competition. However, on the ground, a food source can quickly spark a direct confrontation with another predator. The conflict begins when a hyena, already in possession of a meal, spots an approaching leopard. The hyena immediately clamps down on the carcass and growls a warning, lunging to intercept its rival as the gap closes. The leopard continues to advance, forcing the hyena to simultaneously drag the prize toward itself and pivot to counterattack in defense of its meal. The struggle to hold on to the food compels the hyena to fight back more fiercely. It repeatedly bites and hauls the carcass, lunging in retaliation whenever the leopard attempts to seize it. Yet, the opponent remains relentless, using its powerful forelimbs to pin the food and maintain pressure, gradually stripping the hyena of its initial advantage. As its advantage slips away, the hyena faces a final choice. It attempts a few more counter moves, but the leopard holds firm, refusing to yield the contested prize. Ultimately, the hyena retreats, accepting defeat. The encounter illustrates a fundamental truth of the wild. Persisting in a conflict is only worthwhile when the potential reward outweighs the risk of injury. Along the banks of rivers, lakes, swamps, and wetlands in tropical Africa, crocodiles often operate close to the water's edge. Their ability to learn, memorize locations, and adjust their behavior helps them adapt to changes in their feeding grounds. Right at the water's edge, the food held by the crocodile attracts a pack of hyenas, which begin to close in. Seizing the moment when the distance is right, the hyenas fan out and suddenly approach from multiple directions. Individual hyenas dart in to harass the reptile before quickly retreating, forcing the crocodile to whip its body around, snap its jaws in retaliation, and struggle to hold on to its prize. Faced with these constantly shifting approaches, the crocodile is forced to pivot repeatedly while the pressure from the pack intensifies. After repeated incursions, the crocodile begins to lose its position over the food. Although it continues to spin around to counterattack and attempts to regain ground, the hyenas press their advantage until their opponent is forced back to the water's edge. Ultimately, the pack seizes the prize, triumphing through sheer numbers, persistence, and coordinated attacks from multiple angles. Across the savannas, grasslands, and scrublands of sub-Saharan Africa, particularly in East Africa, lions possess heavy, muscular bodies and the ability to accelerate rapidly over short distances, allowing them to close in on prey and react swiftly to danger. When a solitary lion rests on the plains, the quiet is shattered as a nearby pack of hyenas spots it from afar and begins to watch. Upon detecting their rival, the hyenas approach from multiple directions, initially keeping their distance before gradually tightening the circle. Spotted hyenas live in social groups known as clans. This numerical advantage allows them to pressure even larger adversaries. Suddenly, a hyena from behind lunges forward, causing the lion to spring up with a loud roar and spin quickly to counterattack, forcing the nearest hyenas to instantly retreat. As a gap opens, others immediately close in from the flanks. The lion constantly shifts direction, lunging and lashing out whenever a hyena ventures too close, while the pack takes turns darting in and out to dodge its blows. After repeated skirmishes, the lion loses control of the situation and is forced to climb a low tree to escape the encircling pack. The confrontation only truly subsides after the lion leaves its position on the ground. Although its strength, speed, and counterattacking ability allowed it to hold the pack at bay briefly, the hyena's superior numbers and multi-directional approach ultimately gave them the upper hand. In the end, the coordinated pressure of the pack forced the lion to retreat from the area. In many riverside areas of Africa, calm waters often conceal one of nature's most dangerous ambushers. Crocodiles don't need to chase far. They silently wait for prey to come within striking distance of the water's edge. From unexpected dives in murky water, many confrontations quickly change when the prey loses its initial advantage. At the riverbank during the dry season, the impala herd slowly descends to drink water, constantly observing their surroundings. Impalas possess a highly sensitive survival instinct, remaining vigilant even while grazing or resting. Their speed and jumping ability allow them to escape danger on land, but this is when the water's edge becomes more perilous. Beneath the murky water near the bank, the crocodile lies still, sensing vibrations as the impala approaches to drink. The crocodile waits for the right moment, then suddenly lunges up from beneath the water to attack the impala at the riverbank. The crocodile's swift lunge leaves the impala no time to change direction and pulls it away from its safe position on the bank. The impala herd immediately panics. separating from the drinking area and running quickly towards dry land. The attacked impala cannot resist the crocodile's pulling force in the murky water. The confrontation ended when the crocodile successfully attacked, and the impala herd moved away from the riverbank to avoid danger. At the riverbank during the dry season, the impala herd slowly descends to drink water, constantly observing their surroundings. Impalas possess a highly sensitive survival instinct, remaining vigilant even while grazing or resting. Their speed and jumping ability allow them to escape danger on land, but this is when the water's edge becomes more perilous. Beneath the murky water near the bank, the crocodile lies still, sensing vibrations as the impala approaches to drink. The crocodile waits for the right moment, then suddenly lunges up from beneath the water to attack the impala at the riverbank. The crocodile's swift lunge leaves the impala no time to change direction and pulls it away from its safe position on the bank. The impala herd immediately panics, separating from the drinking area and running quickly towards dry land. The attacked impala cannot resist the crocodile's pulling force in the murky water. The confrontation ended when the crocodile successfully attacked, and the impala herd moved away from the riverbank to avoid danger. After detecting the scent of carcasses near the riverbank, Hyena slowly moved into the shallow water, constantly observing its surroundings. Hyena possesses a tenacious survival instinct, always paying attention to unusual movements and the reactions of other predators in the area. Its strong jaws give Hyena an advantage when competing for food on land, but the water ahead is gradually becoming more dangerous. In the dark water near the shore, Crocodile remained almost still, waiting for Hyena to enter its ambush. Crocodile suddenly lunged out of the water to block Hyena's path. The unexpected lunge caused Hyena to lose its balance, forcing it to spin sharply and quickly retreat from the shallow water. Hyena immediately left the water's edge and continued observing the area from the dry land behind it. Crocodile maintained its advantage in the murky water and remained still, waiting for another opportunity to approach. The standoff ended when Hyena changed its approach, while Crocodile continued to wait for another opportunity underwater. Lions are Africa's top predators, adapted to areas near open grasslands and water sources, where they move in herds and control vast territories. However, this advantage diminishes significantly near the water's edge. Their strength comes from physical prowess and social coordination, along with powerful jaws that allow them to grip prey, constrict the throat for suffocation, and tear flesh effectively. At the boundary between land and water, every movement becomes more difficult to control. At that boundary, in a murky section of the river, as the lion crossed the shallow area to reach the bank, a crocodile, hidden underwater, was almost imperceptible. It remained low-lying, waiting for the lion to come within close enough before suddenly pouncing, creating direct pressure in the confined space. This moment forced the lion to change direction immediately and switch to a defensive posture. Immediately after the pounce, the lion retreated and attempted to move away from the water's edge, but lost its advantage in speed and directional control on the slippery mud. Crocodile continued to press for the first few seconds, preventing lion from maintaining the initiative and forcing him to prioritize escaping the area. Unable to maintain a safe distance, lion retreated and ended the situation in defeat. In the shallow waters where the hippo colony usually rests, adult hippos are always watching for any movement around them. Hippos have a very strong instinct to protect their territory and young. They become alert at the slightest unusual sound or vibration in the water. Their long fangs and heavy bodies give them a clear advantage. But underwater, crocodiles are also beginning to approach. In the calm water near where the hippo colony is gathered, the crocodile lies still and slowly closes the distance. The crocodile waits until it's close enough, then suddenly lunges forward, right up to the head of the hippo, creating pressure. The unexpected lunge from the crocodile stirs the water violently, forcing the hippo to immediately change direction to maintain a safe distance. As the adult hippo advances with strong movements in the water, the crocodile loses its ambush advantage. Crocodiles began to retreat from the shallow water area, while hippopotamus continued to maintain its position near the school to prevent its rival from advancing further. The confrontation ended when crocodiles withdrew, and hippopotamus continued to defend the area around the school thanks to its quick reaction and defensive strength. On dry land near the riverbank, a pack of wild dogs moved in a wide formation after a long chase. Wild dogs have very keen hunting instincts, often observing quickly and coordinating as a pack to surround their target on the grassland. Speed, endurance, and pack discipline give wild dogs an advantage on land. But as they get closer to the water's edge, the formation begins to split. Under the water near the shore, a crocodile lies still and waits for a wild dog to stray from the group behind. Suddenly, the crocodile lunges out of the water to block the wild dog's retreat, right at the river's edge. The crocodile's swift lunge causes one wild dog to slip off the bank, forcing the entire pack to immediately disperse to avoid the shallow water. The pack of wild dogs quickly regroups, emitting short signals and moving around the water's edge to create pressure. That collective reaction prevented the crocodile from advancing further into the dry bank ahead. The confrontation ended when the wild dog left the river's edge, and the crocodile returned to the murky water, their hunting rhythm disrupted. Near the edge of the muddy water, Leopard lowered its body and slowly approached while constantly observing. Leopard had quick reflexes and agile movement on hard ground, but the soft mud ahead began to slow its pace. the moment Leopard's foot sank deep into the soft mud. Crocodile immediately accelerated from beneath the murky water. Crocodile lunged diagonally out of the water and slammed into Leopard's lower body. Leopard spun sharply to maintain balance and tried to retreat from the water's edge. Recognizing the unfavorable terrain, Leopard proactively retreated from the muddy area. Meanwhile, Crocodile also stopped approaching as the distance widened from the controlled water. The confrontation ended when Leopard left the dangerous area, while Crocodile remained still beneath the murky water. Many animals possess superior speed, strength, and reflexes on land. But shallow water is always a place where those advantages can disappear very quickly. Crocodile isn't the fastest mover, but its ability to wait and choose the right moment allows it to control many confrontations near the river's edge. If you enjoy authentic survival adventures in nature, keep following the next installments of this series.